Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me for this training webinar on how to create content that people will want to share. So let's just have a look. This webinar is for you if you would like to learn how to build your online community. And who doesn't want that, right? If you want to know a little bit more about the formula to creating engaging content for your business as well. If you're a little bit puzzled about what you should be posting and even more importantly, when to post it. Also, the one good thing that your content must always have. I'm going to explain that to you as well. And we'll also have a little look at the power of the hashtag as well. So these tips that I'm going to take you through will work for any business, from SMEs to one-man bands, whether you have a product or a service-based business, and for those of you who are on a low budget as well. So let's have a look at what actually led me to this webinar. Well, my name's Caris, and for those of you that I haven't yet met, I'm the owner of Specky and Ginge Online Marketing. And I'd like to say that I'm a storyteller. So I really love to help people. And online marketing is an area that baffles quite a lot of you, and that's okay, you're not on your own. But it's also one that's incredibly time consuming as well. But for me, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing it. So I was really inspired to do something that's really low cost to you, that's really going to help you and give you lots of value in this webinar this evening. So my background is in broadcasting. I've been a presenter and voiceover artist for 17 years. I've worked alongside some of the biggest UK media outlets as well, such as ITV, Channel 4, Sky and Global Radio as well. Makes me feel really old talking you through this when I think about how much I've done. But I really understand how promotion, marketing and creative content all work. Through my business, Specky and Ginge, I help businesses of all sizes achieve growth and online presence. And more importantly, I help them to tell the story of their brand, because people attach and engage more once you've got a story. And I do this through a variety of mediums, okay? So businesses, people and skill sets do differ. I want to keep it really simple for you tonight, give you lots of value, hints, tips and advice on how you can just basically give it a go alone. So I launched Specky and Ginge 4 years ago, and now my knowledge, expertise and my real passion for storytelling, as I say, helps other brands grow their online presence. So you can see here there's some little snippets of, I'd be really proud if I could say A-list celebrities, but sadly most of them aren't. But some of the people that I've been lucky enough to work alongside with and interview over the years. We've got a really, really good network of clients within the business, and most of them have been with us from the get-go, really. This is a testimonial here from a client of mine who owns a beauty salon, which is very much clinic-based. So advanced cosmetic procedures is what she looks after. And you can see here that she's been very, very happy with the service that she's received over the past 4 years. And we've also got from beauty consultants to HR consultants. This is another client that's been with us from word go, and she's done a little video testimonial for us as well. So apologies, we're just hearing that we have no sound on this little video testimonial clip, which we're currently looking into, and we'll try and get that fixed for you. So apologies for that. I can tell you that she was saying really, really nice things though, so you don't need to worry about that. But we will look into that and we'll try and get that sorted. Okay, so let's move on and move through this webinar. I'll get you started with taking you through the 5 steps to creating content that your audience will want to share. Okay, so step 1. Content is something along the lines of text, visuals, and video. It should be engaging and it should evoke emotion as well. Step 2, we're going to look at building your online community by treating it like a face-to-face conversation. For me, social media marketing is all about developing and building relationships. People buy from people, and that's what we need to focus on. Step 3, following the guidelines on what to post and when. So I'll give you some insight into basically the research that's gone into the best times for you to be posting. You want to be posting content when your audience is online, so we'll have a look at that as well. Step 4, you should always have a call to action on every piece of content that you put out. And step 5, we're going to look at the power of the hashtags, how you can utilize hashtags to help your brand be more discovered online. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get started and see if we can teach you some stuff this evening. So here's a little diagram of, as much as we're an online marketing agency, I don't believe in putting all your marketing eggs in the online basket. And equally, I think the more traditional methods of marketing are sometimes more effective in this day. There's a lot of noise to stand out from online. It's very, very busy. Everybody's doing it. But the more traditional methods, there tends to be less people doing it. So, you know, you might have more of a chance of your brand being noticed. So here's a little example about your marketing strategy, which you can see in the middle, and everything else that you should be considering to make up that strategy, obviously including the social media and blogging and what have you. So what is content? Well, it's a really good question. It's a word that's bandied around lots. It's simply information. When you create content in any form, you're putting information on your website or your social media platforms, and great content is information that succeeds in teaching, persuading, or entertaining your audience, while supporting you in achieving your business goals. So you're giving value to your audience, you're entertaining them, but equally they're helping you achieve your business goals. We like to look at content as the fire and social media is the fuel. So once you've got great content, social media is a brilliant platform to help you share that amongst your audience. So what should you actually be focusing on? Well, great content should do the following that you can see here now on your screen. It should reflect your brand. It should give people a reason to stay engaged. It should be very relevant to your audience. It should be promoted across multiple channels, so whatever social media channels you're using for your business. People need to be able to find it as well. You know, you're going to put a lot of time and effort into creating great content, but if no one can actually find it, then what's the point? We need to encourage people to share it as well, and we need to make that easy for them. It needs to be conversational and creative, not only with the content itself, but also in the campaign strategy that you build around it. And it needs to be actionable as well. So think about what you want your audience to do next once they've read your blog or watched your video or read your social media post. So storytelling is massively important. It's a huge part of building relationships, giving that transparency to your audience. So the core of your social media strategy should be content that's smart, fun, relevant, engaging, and of course, there's that word again, shareable. So these are all things that you should be bearing in mind. So hopefully you will never have to experience this, but I wanted to give you a few examples of what can happen when brands, unfortunately, don't get it quite right. Here's an example of HMV, a brand that we've all heard of, a household name. You might remember a few years ago, they had a big cull within the company. They fired a lot of their staff, but what they didn't actually realise was that some of the staff that they actually got rid of had passwords to their social media accounts. So if you do run a business where you have a team and a few of them have access to your social media accounts and they have those passwords, should they leave the company, do make sure that you change your password. So that's the first one. This one's quite it might seem obvious, but this one was obviously to Donald Trump. Somebody posted on Twitter, their parents who passed away said that he was always a big inspiration. Can you please retweet this for their memory? Obviously, we can all see there that picture is of Fred and Rosemary West, and he was completely set up. And it might come as a surprise or not to you, but Donald Trump did retweet that. So just be careful when people are asking you to do things, and just make sure that you know that what you're being asked to do is right. So be careful of that. This is a pizza company who got it horrendously wrong. Trending topics on Twitter through using hashtags. Now, they are a no-brainer for businesses trying to join in on dominant discussions on social media, and they can really, really benefit your brand. However, this went badly wrong. There was some disturbing footage on the internet of an American footballer called Ray Rice, who punched his wife. The footage was released online. It took just 24 hours to gain 46,000 tweets using this hashtag, Why I Stayed. Now, there was many poignant messages, as I'm sure you can imagine, particularly from women, explaining the reasons why they'd stayed in abusive relationships. It was a great hashtag for creating support for victims who had actually gone through, domestic abuse situations. Now, this particular pizza company thought they could capitalize on that trend by tweeting, Why I Stayed, you had pizza. So they didn't look into the meaning behind that particular hashtag before they tried to do that. 4 minutes later, they tweeted an apology stating that they weren't aware of the significance of the hashtag. So just be really careful when you are wanting to use these things. But like I say, don't stress it, because it's not gonna happen to you. So moving on to step 2, then, we need to look at how we build your community. We want to get your own online tribe developed and engaged, and sharing your content, and also doing business with you as well. So how do you do that? Well, think about your audience for each individual platform. Your Facebook audience will more than likely be very different to your LinkedIn audience. Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest are great for creatives and those who like to really use visuals. LinkedIn is more of a corporate Facebook, and Twitter sits quite perfectly in the middle, actually supporting all of the above. Don't be frightened to ask a question. Think about how you start conversations with people who you see in real time, people who are actual real human beings in your life and not other people hiding behind a computer. How do you get conversations going? Well, you ask questions. How's your day going? How are you feeling? On a Monday, how was your weekend? Are you looking on a Friday? Are you looking forward to the weekend? Those kinds of questions are always good to ask on social media. Look at creating a really strong headline and ask the opinion of your audience. People love to feel involved. They love to be asked their own opinion, their opinion of stuff that's to do with your brand. So make sure you're involving them. And also tap into your audience's emotions. So we've just mentioned really strong headlines. Headlines are massively important. I would actually argue sometimes a headline is actually more important than the actual crux of the content, because it's what draws people in. One of my favorites is in the bottom headline here about the sumo wrestler suit. I would say you can't make that stuff up, but clearly somebody has. So you need to look at making your headlines really strong. With any content you create, the headline is the most crucial bit. It has to grab your audience's attention. Headlines that evoke things like curiosity and awe are the ones that are more likely to be shared. Think about making it easy for your audience as well. So use subheaders, break up blocks of text, pick fonts that are easy to read, and make it easy for your audience to digest. So moving on to what do you actually talk about? You know, when I was working in presenting and I did 10 years of breakfast radio, and coming up with content for the show was sometimes a bit of a struggle, but people would always say, what do you find to talk about? So you need to think about things that are topical, things that are relatable, things that your audience can engage with, you know, real stuff. And think about the 80%, 20% rule as well. This is very, very important. Only 20% of your content should be actively selling to your audience. But what do you put in the other 80%? 80% is a lot. So think about value, helpful content, hints and tips. You know, you're offering your advice. You are the expert in your field without a doubt. And you need to be sharing a certain amount of your expertise and knowledge to be able to help your audience. Think about what their struggles and fears and stresses and desires are. What is it that keeps them awake at night? And think about how you can help them. How can you fix it? Make sure you're sharing links to your webpage or your blog as well. Sharing other people's content is also important. That can make up that 80%. Maybe you want to run some online competitions. Testimonials, reviews, and case studies should also be thrown in there as well. They are so important for building credibility and enhancing your reputation to that sector of the audience that don't actually know you. And tell a story. Try and humanize your content as well. If there's things that you can share about yourself and news about your business, so think about behind the scenes kind of tidbits. Your audience is always going to respond well to those. Show them, don't tell them. Visuals, photos, infographics, things like that, and video are hugely important. And you will always find that you get a better amount of engagement when you use those methods opposed to just using text. So, for example, watching just a minute of video is equivalent to reading 1.8 million words. So think about showing your audience what is happening rather than just telling them. Use visuals with descriptive words that are going to evoke a bit deeper feelings for your content and make people connect with you. I hate to break this to you, but it isn't about you. It is actually about your audience. So think about what they want, not about what you want. Share content from other businesses. Make sure you credit the source if you do that. Never, ever copy somebody else's work because you could get into hot water for that. And like I say, humanize your content. People buy from people. And as I've said earlier on, it's about building those relationships and developing them. You want to be doing business with people long term, not short term, because that's going to be beneficial for them and you. So if you can share a bit about your personality, what kind of a person you are, then they're going to buy into you. Use social media as a relationship building tool. And that's what it's absolutely brilliant at supporting you in doing. So moving on to step 3 then, what you're going to post and when you're going to post it. This is a really, really handy tip if you don't already know this. If you go into Google, I've used social media as an example here for a Google search term because we're an online marketing agency, but whatever your field of expertise is, if you stick that into Google and do a search and then hit the news tab at the top, it will come up with all the topical stuff that's relevant to, as we've got here, social media. And what that helps you do is just find some of the, the top stories that the news are covering at the moment. So there might be something relevant that's quite easy for you to share. And that's a really, really easy way of finding some content for your social media platforms if you are struggling a little bit. So that's a good tip for you to find topical content. So make sure you break it down as well. What we like to do is look at the week as a whole and try and tap into your audience's emotions. Think about how the world generally feels from day to day. Think about, how do you feel today? On a Monday, people generally have the Monday blues. They're already missing the weekend. It's gone by way too quickly. So think about uplifting them, motivating them, and instilling a positive mental attitude through your content. Make people feel good. The middle of the week is generally quite good for anything sales related. So Tuesday, Wednesday, people are more receptive to anything salesy that you have to send to them. And Friday, obviously, people are looking forward to the weekend. So you can use that for a bit of humor, a bit of fun. So you've got a bit of an idea of how the week breaks down and what kind of things you should be looking at posting. But when do you post them? And timing to a common sense is common sense to a certain degree, because you need to be looking at timing your content around what you think your audience's routines are. And I appreciate everybody's businesses are going to be different. You might have overseas audiences, you might have UK-based audiences, you know, they could be anywhere in the world. So time will come into, as in time differences will be a factor for you perhaps. But generally, this is a rule of thumb. Around people's routines. So in the morning, 6 o'clock till 10 to 9 is quite a good time to be posting content. What we're looking at doing here is maximizing the effectiveness of the content that you're posting. There's no point posting stuff online if your audience aren't there to receive it. So 6 o'clock till 10 to 9 in the morning is quite a good one. And I say 10 to 9 because generally people start work at 9. And, you know, they might be thinking, oh, I'm just going to have a little 10 minutes before I've got to start work. I might just have a little look over Facebook and see what's going on. And if your content's there, bang, you've got it. Same for the afternoon. You know, I would always say when you're posting stuff, never do it bang on the hour. So never post something bang on 12 or bang on 1. Always mess around with your times a little bit, a few minutes before or a few minutes after. So 5 to 12 would be a good time to catch the people that go for lunch at 12 o'clock. And 5 past 1 would be a good time to catch the people who have lunch at 1. In the evening, it's the same as well. You know, if your audience is typically an audience with families, you need to be trying to time things around the school run. There's no point if you're targeting mums putting stuff out when they're in the car with, you know, screaming kids in the back because they're just not going to see it. So 4:30 until 6:30, late afternoon, early evening is a good time to do stuff. 4:30, generally people are clock watching if they finish at 5. And through till 6:30 just gives you a little bit of flexibility as to when people finish work. And then at night time, again, generally people who've got families, people who maybe work a little bit later, are sitting down, oh, my day's finished, I've had my tea, I've got the kids to bed, I've got my glass of wine, I'm just going to have a little look through social media. So 8 o'clock till 11 o'clock is quite often a good time for that as well. After 11, things tend to tail off. However, saying that, if you have a business where you might be targeting new mums, for example, then post in the middle of the night when they're up doing night feeds, because there's absolutely nothing on social media then. So you've got a captive audience while they're up feeding baby. So that would be a good example of when this might not, you know, fit this rule. Look at posting the same content on a different day or time and you will reach a different audience. So don't be scared to use the same content again, just on a different day, a different time. Don't get fixated with it. Like I say, you'll know what's right for your business and these are just guidelines. So play around with it and test your results to see when your own busiest times are, okay? So moving on to step 4. This is the most important bit. Have a call to action. So every piece of content that you produce, you need to clearly tell your audience what you want them to do next. Please don't ever presume that they know what you want of them. So have a call to action on absolutely everything. So what would a call to action look like? Well, it's whatever you want them to do. It might be that you want them to pick up the phone. It might be you want them to email you, to visit your website, to subscribe to something. Maybe you want them to book an appointment, download some free material, or simply share the content that they're reading. Whatever it is, don't be frightened to tell them very clearly what you want them to do. Just get a little bit bossy. It's fine. They'll forgive you. So give them some direction. You know, this follows on from the call to action. Use your social media platforms to direct your audience where you want them to go. That could be your website, it could be a landing page, it could be a blog, or it could be your YouTube channel. So step 5, a lot of people tend to get quite hung up on how to use hashtags, okay? And really simply, hashtags are there to make your content discoverable and to help you find relevant content from other people and businesses. They allow you to connect with and engage with other social media users based on a theme or an interest. And they make group communication easier as well. If any of you have taken part in Twitter chats, you'll have probably learned that just by following the hashtag for the duration of the session, means that you can focus on just that group's conversation without any of the other online noise interrupting you. So where can you use them? Well, you can use them on Twitter, of course. That's where they first became popular, when Twitter introduced them, but they're now supported by platforms such as Flickr, Facebook, Google+, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, those kinds of things. Make sure you're specific with your hashtag. The more specific you can be, the more targeted your audience will be. And a targeted audience, without a doubt, means better engagement for you. And that's what we're looking for. When you think about branding, the general rule is not to use your brand name in a hashtag. Use them to represent your brand instead. So think about keywords. Keywords are words that people would use to search for you. It might be a geographical location. It might be a product, it might be a service, words that bring value that you want your brand to be discovered for. Make sure you keep it short as well. The whole point of a hashtag is to make life easier, to help us find stuff. So don't try and overcomplicate things by creating long ones. Keep them punchy, short, and relevant. If you do want to make them a little bit longer, you'll see on the screen now I've used capital letters at the start of each word. So if the hashtag is a little bit longer, doing that just makes it easier for people to read. So a little tip for you there. Don't overuse them as well. 3 is plenty for one post. It's easy to think more hashtags equals more followers, and perhaps there is a little bit of truth in that, but they will be the wrong followers, and the wrong followers are no good to us whatsoever. The only thing you're going to attract is spammers, and no one likes spam, whether it's online or from a tin. Actually, most definitely from a tin. No one likes that. And remember as well, they're not actually always needed. You don't need them every time you post content. Their purpose is to make your content more discoverable, but it's not going to fit every category. So think whether your content adds to a larger, wider conversation. If it does, then go ahead and use a few. So I hope that helps you a little bit with hashtags.
Hey, Justin, what's up?
Not much, Jimmy. Hashtag chilling. What's up with you?
Just been busy working. Hashtag rise and grind. Hashtag is it Friday yet?
Hey, check it out. I brought you some cookies. Hashtag homemade. Hashtag oatmeal raisin. Hashtag show me the cookie.
Sweet. Hashtag don't mind if I don't. Pretty good. Hashtag getting my cookie on. Hashtag I'm the real cookie monster. Hashtag no.
Delicious, right? Hashtag I did it all for the cookie. Hashtag LOL.
Hashtag classic. By the way, did you catch last week's episode of Duck Dynasty? Hashtag quack quack.
Nah, lately I've mostly been watching Netflix. Hashtag Orange is the New Black.
Oh, nice. I've been watching a lot of Barney the Dinosaur. Hashtag Purple is the New Black. Hashtag I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. Hashtag I'm 38. Hashtag dinosaurs. Hashtag how do they go extinct? Hashtag meteor. Hashtag Ice Age. Hashtag speaking of Ice Age, I just watched Ice Age on demand the other day. Hashtag funny. Hashtag Ray Romano. Hashtag Deborah. Hey, by the way, Halloween's only like a month away.
I know.
I mean, do you know where you're gonna be at? Hashtag life decisions. Hashtag sexy ghost.
I think I'm gonna go as a Ninja Turtle. Hashtag gotta be Raphael. Hashtag Leonardo sucks. Hashtag the turtle, not the Italian Renaissance painter. Hashtag Mona Lisa. Hashtag is she smiling? Hashtag speaking of smiling, I just saw my dentist. Hashtag bling. Hashtag dental care. Hashtag cavity free. Hashtag that's how we do. Hashtag we go hard. Hashtag and we can't stop.
Hashtag we won't stop.
Hashtag we run this.
Hashtag true players for life.
Hashtag is it worth it or let me work it.
Hashtag put my thing down, flip it, then reverse it.
Hashtag is your women in the band yet? Hashtag is your women in the band yet?
Hey guys,
Yeah, Quest?
What's up?
hashtag shut the f up.
A little video there with Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Fallon demonstrating how life might be if we communicated completely in hashtag. Let's really hope it never happens. But I do like that little clip. I think it's very clever. So I wanted to share that with you. So let's look at, you've done all this work. We've taken you through some steps. We've hopefully given you some nice hints and tips there, some ideas and some inspiration on how you can, maybe just shake up your social media strategy a little bit. But how do you know if it's successful? You've set your online marketing goals. You've created those killer headlines that we've talked about. You've created great content as well. But how do you know if it's successful? Anything that you do, any time that you spend on your business, anything that you invest in, you want to see a return on that investment, right? Everybody does that. Everybody wants that. So how do you do that? Well, you measure your results. There's some quite good stuff out there that you can use for free. So there's you might have heard of Hootsuite, which is a scheduling bit of software. You can use it for free. It's really clever. You can put in your content, share it on all your different social media platforms. So that's a good one to have a look at. And it's also it also helps you with your timings as well. So it's going to content in and schedule it at a time that is suitable for you. Buffer and Clout are also a couple of other ones that I would recommend you have a look at as well. So just make a note of these as we go, so you can have a look at those. Hootsuite, Buffer and Clout. Clout is spelt with a K. So just have a look at them. They're not going to cost you anything, and they're going to really help you when you're putting together your social media content, and save you time as well, which is what is really important. That's what we're looking at, okay? So that's basically how you can determine whether it's successful or not. You measure and test your results. All those, well, things like Hootsuite, I forgot to mention, and also your individual social media platforms such as Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter all have their own built-in analytics as well. So you can quite easily look at what content you're putting out there that's being well received and what isn't being so well received. So you can do more of what works and less of what doesn't. Okay? So let's have a little recap. We do have some questions coming in at the moment as well, so I'm just going to go through those in a minute, and then we can move on a little bit with the webinar. But let's just recap for now, go through the steps that I've shared with you. Step number 1, content is text, visuals, and video. Remember, your content should be engaging and it should evoke emotion as well. Tap into those emotions of that audience. And that's a massive step actually nailed for you there. Step 2, look at building your online community by treating it like a face-to-face conversation. I think anything, sometimes it can be a little bit scary because we seem to be living in a society where people are hiding behind computers. But just treat your online community exactly the same way as you would if you bumped into a friend in the street, or if you talk to your mum or you talk to your nan. And actually talking about mums and nans, that is a really, really good way of thinking about, if you're a bit in doubt as to whether to share something online, think, would I be happy having this conversation or sharing this content with my mum or my nan? If the answer is yes, then go ahead. If you've got a little bit of a question mark over it, I would say maybe not. Step 3 then, follow the guidelines on what to post and when. I've shared those with you. So if you follow those, it will give you, I promise you, it will give you a really, really good starting point. And then from there, you can tweak it to suit your business. Step 4, remember that CTA? Always have a call to action on every single piece of content. Tell your audience what you want them to do and give them some direction. Don't be frightened to do that. As long as you're polite and as long as you're nice about it and we're not rude, then you can just give people a gentle nudge in the direction that you want them to go. And step 5, use those hashtags, follow those guidelines on how to use the hashtags. They will really help people find your content online if you're following those, okay? All right, so we've got some questions coming in on the little chat that we've got going. So let's just go through the questions that are coming in and see if I can, put me on the spot now, see if I can answer these for you. Where can I get good content from? So we talked earlier on about finding topical content, didn't we? That's a really good place that I would always advise you to start. Whatever your area is, whatever your field of expertise, just banging that as a search term into Google and then hitting that news tab is going to find you some really good topical content. It might be that the BBC are talking about something. It might be that Sky's talking about something. All the major news outlets are out there. If there's anything that they're covering, it will be on there. And even if you're not directly sharing that particular article, just reading about what's topical to do with what's relevant with your business might just give you some inspiration as to what to post. And good content should always come, for me personally, it should always come from the heart. You know, you're running your business because you're passionate about it. You've got a real passion, a real drive, a real ambition for doing what you do. And that should really filter through with your content. So humanizing those profiles, like I said earlier, really sharing things about your personality, little tidbits, behind the scenes footage into your business as well. Behind the scenes footage is really good because it offers a lot of transparency. You know, you're happy to bring people into it. It's like bringing somebody into your home. It's a real personal thing. And it's the same with your business. So share news about your team. Give people a little behind the scenes guided tour. That's a really good way of being able to use some more visuals. So there's lots of areas that you can get good content from. Think about another good thing to do as well is to think about if you've heard of a water cooler moment, then that's a really good place to start with content. So think about when people go into work in the morning and they're gathering around the kettle. First thing they do is making a cup of tea or coffee. They're gathering around the water cooler. You know, what is it that they're talking about? It might even just be EastEnders or Coronation Street from the night before, but it's relevant, it's real. You know, we're living in the real world, and it's about tapping into what everyone's talking about. So hopefully that answers the question. There's some good bits there as to where you can get good content from. So this second question, what's better, Facebook or Twitter? Whew, that depends. That depends on what your business is. So businesses will always do better on certain platforms. So for example, LinkedIn wasn't mentioned on this question, but Facebook is generally very female-led. So if your business is a business that is a very female-led from an audience perspective, you have a lot of female clients, Facebook is a good place to be. Kids don't use Facebook anymore. Kids have moved away because mums and dads have started using Facebook and they're a little bit embarrassed. Facebook's just not cool for kids anymore. So there's generally a slightly older audience on Facebook as well. Twitter, as I said earlier, Twitter tends to sit in the middle and support a little bit of everything. So it is a really nice platform to use. Lots of people are scared of it. Lots of people don't understand what value they can get from it. But once you understand that and start playing around with it a little bit, the local Twitter chats are really good for being able to meet other local business people and help promote your brand. And LinkedIn is quite corporate. So like I say, depending on what your business is, if your business is more suited and booted, if it's more in the corporate world, then LinkedIn is where you're going to sit better rather than Facebook. So for example, we've got a chartered accountant that we look after within our business. LinkedIn and Twitter will always work better for our chartered accountant than Facebook. You saw the testimonial earlier from our client Sarah, who runs the beauty place. Facebook works really well for her. So that just kind of gives you an idea. And it's very individual and very based on what business it is that you run. So the next question is about Instagram. What about Instagram? Well, what about Instagram? Instagram's a brilliant platform. And do you know why? Because not that many people are using it from a business perspective. So it's quite a quiet one, which means that you have less noise to stand out from. Facebook and Instagram are now linked. You might have already noticed that. If you've got friends on Facebook and you go onto your Instagram account, it will automatically recognize who you're friends with on Facebook and let you know whether they're on Instagram as well. So, you know, they are looked after by the same company. It's very visual based. So if you are a business that can share visuals really easily, then that is one for you. If you're looking at a slightly younger audience, then that is also for you. So those are some key things about Instagram: visuals, hashtags, slightly younger audience, and less noise to stand out from. So if I believe that it is right for a client to invest in using Instagram, then I would always recommend it. It's not right for everybody, but you'll get a feel as to what's right for you. And, you know, I do hear from a lot of people, I hear this a lot. I need to be using Twitter. I have to be using Facebook. You don't have to be doing anything. If you're not comfortable with it and you don't believe that it's representing your business right, then why bother? You know, it's like saying, I want to get fit. Oh, well, you need to go running, but you don't like running. Then don't do it, because you're not going to stick with it. The things that you do and the investments that you make into your business, you have to really enjoy doing. Otherwise, you won't enjoy it and you won't stick at it. And what's the point? This has got to be fun, right? And another question here that I've just got some time to answer: how often should I post? Well, we kind of covered that a little bit earlier on with timings and stuff, but how often is how often you feel that you've got, how much time have you got to put into it? So if you're quite time poor, then I would be suggesting using some scheduling software like Hootsuite that we talked about earlier, where you can create all your content in one go and schedule it to go out on different days of the week at different times. Then you can walk away from it, carry on running your business, and all you need to do is check on any engagement that comes back from it. But how often you should post is kind of like saying, how often should I open my mouth? If you've got something that's relevant to say, if you've got something that's engaging, if you've got something of value to give to your audience, if that means that you're posting lots of times a day, then that's absolutely fine. As long as, it's not becoming repetitive and boring and you've got the time to put into it, then that's absolutely fine. Quite often with social media, because it's such a slow burner, the more you can put into it and the more time you can invest into it, the better return you will see. But, some of our clients, we're just creating a few posts a week for them, and that consistency is enough for their business, and they're seeing great results from it. So don't feel like you need to be posting 1 million times a day to see results, because you don't. The key thing is consistency. Even if you're not posting often, just make sure that it's regular, because your followers and your fans have bought into you for a reason. And it's because they're liking what they're reading or seeing or hearing. And if for whatever reason you get really busy and stop doing that, then they feel a bit let down. It's a bit of a fickle old world on social media, I can tell you. So you need to nurture that audience once you've got them. Okay, so of course you can keep your questions coming in, and I will do my best to get through them and answer them as we move through this webinar. I've given you a lot of information in this short training webinar, which I hope that you do implicate and you find useful. However, if you're new to social media marketing for your business, it can be really overwhelming, and I totally understand that. And of course, very, very time consuming. You need to be putting aside at least an hour every single day to make this work, and it adds up. So, you need to be really committed to do it. So what can you do to help yourself further? Well, if it's okay, I'm going to show you the easy way that you can make this happen for you. All right. An hour every day is massive, isn't it? I know, it adds up. It's scary. It's really scary. And it's really all consuming as well. Have you ever got on Facebook and then 2 hours later you're still on it and you think, where's half my afternoon gone? So this is where we introduce you to Specky and Ginge Train. Now, this is so exciting. I'm really excited to share this with you. Specky and Ginge Train is basically an 8-week step-by-step social media training program. And the wonderful thing about Specky and Ginge Train is that it's delivered directly to your inbox. You don't even have to leave the house. You don't even have to get dressed. No one will even know. You can learn all the steps that you need to implement your effective online marketing strategy. But I'm telling you, when those clients and leads start coming in, if you're not dressed, you need to put some clothes on, because you could get into a load of trouble. So it's the ultimate social media training program. And I just want to take a little bit of time to explain what Specky and Ginge can bring to you, how it can help you. So as I say, it's eight steps, okay? And the first step, we would look at defining social media, understanding why it matters for your business, learning how social media can be embraced for your business branding. Okay? Really important. The second step I would take you through we'd look at comparing the major social media platforms, comparing them and looking at the benefits that you get for each one, so you can make an informed decision on what social media platform is going to be right for your brand. There is no point using the ones that aren't right. Like I said, a little while ago, you don't have to be doing everything. Just do the stuff that's going to work for you and give you a return on that investment in your time. And I'll also help you understand the advantages and disadvantages of using the different social media platforms, again, just to help you make an informed decision that's right for your business. So the third step would be determining strategic direction. That's easy for me to say. We're going to establish where social media fits into the marketing mix. We're going to define your social media target audience and objectives. You know, the thing with social media, what's really important is the first step is understanding who your audience is and who your ideal client is. So when I say ideal client, people tend to sit there and say, well, it's everybody. It isn't everybody. Who do you really love to work with? What types of people do you really connect with? Because that's what we need to be building into your social media strategy and your business goals, okay? Business is so much easier when we're working with the right kind of clients, when we're not clashing, you know, when we've got things in common, when trust is easy to build, credibility is easy to build. So in the third step, we would be helping you understand that. Moving on to the fourth step, understanding and selecting your channels. So we'll explain how to use various platforms within those channels, selecting the right channels based on your objectives and business needs. Again, you know, where are your clients hanging out? Where are they hiding? Let's go out and unturn those rocks and drag them out and introduce you to them, because we want them to know how fantastic you are and your business is. The fifth step, we look at your content strategy, crafting content strategies in line with your brand, and creating effective social media content as well. Some of which I hope you've learnt about on this training webinar. I think I've given you a little bit of a head start there, haven't I? And step 6, initiating your presence and campaigns. Design social media brand spaces. We're going to look at implementing guidelines for effective social media management. Your time is precious, and time's money for all of us when we're running business. So we want to make your time spent into your online marketing strategy as effective as possible. So we'll help you do that. Step 7 on the Ultimate Social Media Training Program is managing and leveraging your community. So we want to develop your own tribe, your own online community. Build engaged and supported social media communities. We're going to look at managing your social media presence through online monitoring. I'll tell you something as well that I'll also cover in that's not written on the screen at the moment. We'll look at reputation management as well, because that is really, really important. Everything that we do with our clients, we are protecting their reputation through the work that we're doing. You know, we will support you in avoiding doing anything that might be potentially damaging. So I think that's a really important point to add with step 7. And step 8, again, we go back to how do we know it's successful? Well, the Ultimate Social Media Training Program, Specky and Ginge Train, will explain all about reporting and optimization. We'll be determining effective social media KPIs. We'll be tracking and measuring social media performance. We'll be sharing all those tips as to how you effectively do that. As I said, way back when we started this training webinar, anything that you put into this, you want a return on investment. Otherwise, it's a waste. You don't want to feel at the end of it that you've wasted your time, and more importantly, you've wasted your money. That is not what we want out of this. We want this to be successful for you, and I want to be able to help you with that. So what do you get? This is exciting. You get 8 webinars delivered straight into your inbox, covering the areas that I've just outlined for you previously. So I'll teach you all that stuff. You will go away knowing all that stuff, okay? Through 8 webinars delivered straight into your inbox every week. Like I say, you don't even need to leave the house. The beauty of it is that you can do it in your own time. So I'm not asking you to be anywhere at a certain time. I'm not asking for any specific time commitment from you. You can do it in your own time. That's absolutely fine. So we're giving you that flexibility. We understand that life's really, really busy for everybody. And time is very, very precious. So we want you to have this information and be able to just pick it up and put it down as and when fits in with your life and running your business. We'll also give you 2 half-an-hour Skype sessions as well. So, you know, you'll get some one-on-one treatment there, which is brilliant because we wanted to add that in. So if you have any questions, any concerns, you want to know something specifically about your brand, then you will have the opportunity to be able to do that through the Skype sessions. So that's a total inclusive value of $6,184. Okay. Sounds a lot. That does sound a lot, doesn't it? So just going back to the earlier on testimonials that we looked at in the webinar at the beginning, there's another one here from a lady that I worked with who makes jewelry. She's fantastic, absolutely brilliant, like Canadian lady. She's brilliant. And we worked with her on more of a consultancy basis rather than actually managing her social media. She really wanted to have the control and to do it herself. And she sent us a really nice testimonial because what we taught her empowered her and gave her the skills to be able to do it herself and grow her online presence really successfully. And she's doing just that. So you can just see some more nice words that people have said about you. And it means the world. And you'll know this being in business. When people just really value the help and support that you give them, it just means the absolute world. So do you know what? Because I'm feeling really generous, I just thought what I've said to you now and what I've taken you through those 8 steps, and you're going to get these things into your inbox. You can do it in your own time and it's all brilliant. But you need more. You need even more bonuses. So if you sign up today, I will throw in some extra value for you as well, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in 8 social media content ideas for marketers. So what does that mean for you? Well, basically, I'm giving you 8 really effective, rock solid content ideas that's already done for you. So we've done the hard work for you. You can use these ideas and implement them straight into your online marketing strategy. These are already made, proven ideas to use on your social media platforms. So basically, you don't have to do the work. So if you sign up today, I'm more than happy to send that your way. And, you know, this is giving you the skills and the expertise to do this on your own. Okay. And we're just wanting to make it really easy for you. Really easy, really effective, and protecting your time as well is the aim of the game. Okay. So ask yourself this question. Can you do it another way? Well, I suppose you could. I suppose you could look at getting somebody to come in and train you in-house, in your place of work, in your place of home. But again, that's even more restrictive on your time because you're having to put aside an hour to be somewhere at a certain time, and that might not fit with your lifestyle. So, you know, we're offering these 8 webinars delivered straight to your inbox at a value of $5,887. On top of that, I've already said to you, 2 half-an-hour Skype sessions, which have got a value of just under $300, let's say, and some amazing bonuses as well that are coming in at a value of around $437. That's a total value of $6,621. That's a whole load of value. That's massive. All this, and you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to make the time. You know, you can do it around the kids. You can do it around the school run. You can do it around your social life, hobbies, partners, whatever it might be. And more importantly, running your business. And that's what we want. We don't want you to feel pressured into having to commit too much. Obviously, you've got to commit to be doing this because you want to grow your business. You want to get your online presence absolutely spot on. And so there is a commitment there. Yeah, of course. But we want to make it as easy as possible for you. So it fits in with your lifestyle and there's less juggling. We do enough juggling in life. Don't want you to juggle anymore. So basically, there's no comparison whatsoever. You know, there are other courses that are available to you, and I would always encourage you to shop around. Please do your research and make an informed decision on what is right for you now and what is right for your business. Like I say, you could pay a professional to come into your office and train you, but that's going to cost you around, I don't know, $1,500 a day perhaps. And then, as I've mentioned, you've got to fit that session in around the commitments and responsibilities that you have of running your business. Not only the commitments and responsibilities that you have of running your business, but your own life as well. You know, it's not all about running your business. You've got other commitments and you've got to make time for yourself. You could pay around $1,000 to visit a training center to learn with a large group of others. But doing that means that you're not getting any one-on-one kind of attention. You know, you're in a large group of other people who are all going to be in different sectors. All their brands are needing different things. So you're not getting any kind of tailored, specific one-on-one nurturing that is just for your brand. So, you know, ideally what you want is to sit in a room with somebody like myself and us just focus on your brand and your business and what is best for you. But, you know, with these other options, unfortunately, you're not going to get that. So here's why I am going to make you an amazing offer. And this is amazing. I'm very excited about this. Your success is basically my success. I want us to work together, and building relationships is so important for me. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know your business, and I want to really help you succeed because that makes me massively happy. I want to help your business be successful online. Being successful online will also make you successful offline. So I'm looking for businesses to partner with and help spread the word of Specky and Ginge. After today, this offer will only be available at its original price. So I think that's worth bearing in mind as well. But this special offer is so exciting. So the total value, as we've mentioned, $6,621. But for the next 15 minutes only, I'm going to give you it for $400. I'm mad. I'm sitting here looking at this screen and thinking that's absolutely insane. But I want to do it because I know that you're going to be great to work with. I know that your business is going to be great to see flourish. I want to be a part of that journey. I want to be able to help you. So that $6,621 package that we've put together for you for the next 15 minutes only, you're going to get for just under $400, $397 to be precise. And all you need to do is click on the link in the chat box that you will see coming up now. And you know what? I mean, I'm sitting down, so I'm not feeling too lightheaded. I've got all my faculties. I'm not insane. I'm going to throw in some, well, I might be a little bit insane. Just ask some people. But I'm going to throw in even more bonuses for you. If you sign up right now, so within the next 15 minutes, the clock is ticking, I will also include 6 Facebook features that marketers generally overlook. Now, Facebook's a really, really good platform, but as with all the platforms, there are things that it does that people never quite get to grips with. It's only people like myself who do it for a living, who have the time to really do the research and have the training and really learn these platforms inside and out. So I've done all the hard work for you. I've invested in myself to now share this with you. There are features that you won't know about that will completely turn your online marketing strategy around. So I'll be sharing 6 Facebook features that you can utilize for your brand. Some secret insider tips. That makes it sound very mysterious. So there's another bonus for you as well. And all on top of that, I'm offering you all of this risk-free even. Again, that's easy for me to say. I don't think I've got my teeth in right today. So your 100% satisfaction is guaranteed, because for 30 days, if you're not happy, if you're not feeling like I'm doing my job properly because I want to support you, I want to help you. And if you don't feel that you're getting that, then you'll get your money back. It's as simple as that. Because for those of you who don't know me, this is the start of our relationship, and where I'm building that trust in you. You're building trust in me, and we want to move on and we want to both be successful together. But I want to give you a safety net as well. So if within those 30 days, I won't be offended, might go and stand in the corner and cry for a little bit, but I won't be offended. Within those 30 days, you will get your money back, and I promise that, okay? So there we go, $6,621 worth of whopping value to kickstart your online marketing strategy effectively, protecting your time and your work-life balance as well. We want to look after that. And you'll get that today for only $397. All you have to do is click on the link now. I'm very excited about working with you. Massively excited. I'm really excited to meet you. I want to be a part of helping you and supporting you in your business journey. And I just can't wait. I can't wait for us to get started. So click on that link, get signed up today. Make sure you make use of that massive amount of value that we're giving you and all the extra bonuses and all the freebies and stuff. I'm more than happy to throw those in and help you. And I think that is just about it for this training webinar. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart for sparing the time to join me tonight. And I hope that we will be chatting very, very soon. So have a great rest of day.